What's up, guys? Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
We're back at it to answer your questions in another installment of For the Greater.
Today's awesome question comes from
All Might. My phone starts to... There it is. He asks, what is GW doing with all these new Thousand Sun models?
So the new Thousand Suns models, we can't put up on the screen or anything like that because we don't want to get sued. It might be a thumbnail, who knows? But, well, you know more about it, so
right.
Give it to him.
So recently there has been a lot of information that has been released via GW on their Facebook page, and there's a video specifically stating that the Primarch Magnus, the Demon Primarch Magnus, has a model, he has a plan, and there are new plastic Thousand Suns coming out. Now, the whole Warzone Fenris that was brought out about a few months back has been updated. So now the Thousand Suns are going to get the revenge on the Space Wolves. So they're going to launch a planetary assault on Fenris, the home world of the Thousand Suns, and they are looking to wipe them out completely. Because they got pretty effed up back when the, I believe it was Korn who was attacking them. And now Magnus is going to want to finish them off. So perhaps that means that Lehman Russ will come back from his hunt or whatever it was that he was doing. And it's a pretty cool time because Forge World released a model for him. So maybe we could finally see Forge World Lehman Russ against GW Demon Primarch Magnus. And that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's tricky too. I wonder if GW is going to take the Lehman Russ model and put it into GW, because they did that with the Stampa.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the Stampa was a Forge World model, and they brought it down to GW so that it could be plastic and not that fine cast.
Right. And they've been doing that recently with the burning of Prospero and the betrayal at Calth.
Yeah.
Because Cataphractic Terminators and Contemptor Dreadnoughts were 30k. Now they've got rules in 40k.
So will we see a Lehman Russ for GW? I think the chances of that happening are pretty big.
Yeah.
And another cool thing is, when we were speculating before, we thought that it was going to be a huge end of times where all the races were involved. But what GW is going to end up doing is they're going to break it down into bite-sized chunks, and they're going to focus on the heresy, the Horus heresy aspect. So I bet you we're going to see more Traitor Legions. We're going to see just smaller box sets like the Betrayal of Calth and Burning of Prospero, but with other traitor factions. And we have a traitor faction codex now.
Right. I think it's called Traitor Legions. It's coming out.
So I bet you they're gonna pump more, effort into those types of things, which is cool. I don't mind. It's smart for them because more people are gonna buy that kind of stuff.
It's been a long time since we've had an official, revamping of Chaos that hasn't been Chaos faction specific.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it definitely, especially since it advances the timeline a little bit more. So just gotta wait and see what else GW has in mind.
Yes. Now, this next question comes from Chaplain Thor. Now, he's put question followed by whatever he wants us to answer. And that's what you could do in order for us to answer your question for next week. So don't forget to put your question down in the comments. He asks, you are given the choice of sleeping with a Slaneshi Demonette or a Dark Eldar Succubi. Which one do you choose? But wait, the Emperor is always watching. That's messed up.
That's not going to change my opinion at all. He can watch all he wants. But hands down, it is the Dark Eldar Succubi. Because even though demons can get more freaky, I always like that Eldar physique.
I would choose the demon, because the demon comes from the Chaos God of Pleasure, and Dark Eldar feed off of pain. And I don't like pain. Especially not in a situation like that. So that's my response.
Yeah, you got a good point there. So
yeah.
I'll give that to you.
Next question.
Once again, All Might. Do you guys think that Gilliman is healing himself while in stasis, even though it shouldn't be possible? Or is he going to die as soon as he is out of stasis?
I bet you he is healing himself, but I bet you, remember we talked about the whole box sets, I bet you there's going to be a box set where who attacked Lorgar? Demon Primarch Lorgar is gonna come back to Ultramar, and fuck with Gilliman's body. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of BS. Like, just because he's a Primarch, he can heal, even though he's frozen in time. But it's most likely gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the poster boys of GW, so there's no way the Primarch of the Ultramarines is gonna die.
Yep. The next question comes from Chaplain Thor again. Who are the top 5 most powerful xenos in the galaxy? Alright, well, starting with number 5, I would have to say xenos. Let's see. Farsight?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, because like the Tau Empire is much bigger than what he commands.
Yeah.
He's been kind of stuck. He's a G, but he doesn't have the army to,
make that G capital.
Yeah. We're gonna exclude Tyranids because Tyranids I think would be number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 or number 4 would be, who do you think? Demon or Xenos. Is
Eldar? Well, no, because they're dying off.
Yeah, I would say who was it? Imhotep from the Necrons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's getting his shit together. Number 3 would be what? Godskull? Thraka? Or Thraka?
I'd put him at 2, but I mean I could see him at 3. Yeah.
The only reason I put him so low is just because he's fighting the Tyranids right now, and they're pretty tough.
Yeah.
Number 4
or no, number 2.
2, yeah. Sorry, I keep doing that.
Who?
I think we kind of like ruined it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Push everything up.
Yeah, push everything up. But who's our 5? Eldrad.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. It's on the spot. I'm not sure. Next question.
Dragon Punch 903. How old are you guys, and how long have you been playing Warhammer for?
I am 24.
I am also 24. No.
You're older than me.
I am 24.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna be
your birthday's coming up next
Yeah,
week.
I'll be 25 next week.
And we've been playing since 1987.
That's a long ass time.
I'm just kidding.
I wasn't even born back then.
Since 5th edition.
Yeah, 50. So that's like 10 years, give or take.
Next question comes from Eurasia Crims. Is the current Imperium expanding or maintaining? I'm pretty sure that it's fluctuating. I think it's maintaining. I don't think it's expanding.
Yeah, it's probably... Well, if it is, it's expanding really slowly. But it's probably at a homeostasis.
Yep, homeostasis.
This one's by Vermilion Beta. How dangerous would a hybrid of an orc and a xenomorph alien be? Now, xenomorphs are the one from like the Alien movie, like the black ones with the head.
So they're basically Tyranid, Gene Stealer orcs. And they are the most savage creatures in the world. If you actually want to hear or you want to learn more about them, check out our Freebooter video and our Tyranid Part 2 video. Because it talks about these half Tyranid, half orc hybrids. They're just beasts. They're super tough and they have awesome lore.
If you also go into our fanfic video, The Shape of the Nightmare to Come, they actually speculate that the Tyranids and the Orcs will actually fuse and we become one great mega race. And they're one of the toughest forces in the universe.
Yep. Freakstyle95 asks, comment first. I've been watching for a while and I love it. Favorite part of my day coming back to my tent sand, watching your videos while I'm deployed. So my question, Tau Ethereals are said to mysteriously unify the Tau, even though the Tau don't have psychers and hardly register in the warp. Could the Ethereals have an unknown passive psyker ability or some type of aura, such as human anti-psychers who nullify warp powers, that allow them to manipulate the will of the Tau? And are the Tau as a whole the dark seed to the east, or does that title belong to the Ethereals alone, if you think this is true?
Yeah, there's definitely something shady about them.
I don't think it's warped though.
No, it probably isn't.
I bet you they control their being or the other castes through some type of pheromone.
Mm-hmm.
Now the whole theory behind the Tau is that the Tau were created by the Eldar to fight chaos. Because you know how life and just the galaxy seems to do everything in cycles? So the old ones created the orcs, the humans, and the Eldar to fight the Necrons. The Necrons defeated them, but the power of the warp... Okay, so the old ones were psychically powered, because I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
They fought the Necrons, which hated the warp because of the Catan. So they empowered the warp to defeat the Necrons, but then the warp became the new enemy. So now what are the Eldar going to do? They're going to create something that can nullify the warp, which is the Tau. So it's just going to go back and forth like that. Just how life is.
So is that saying the Tau are going to be the next big threat? Speculate.
Yeah. Right? If we ever get to 50K, I mean, what it says is that the humans don't really matter.
Basically, yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think they're part of the warp. I think it's all pheromonal. That's how they control the Tau.
The Tau, right.
And are they the bad guys to the east? Yeah.
If you want them to be bad, go ahead. Question by Bjorn von Horn. Why does Korn like unicorns?
Kind of answered your own question.
Yeah.
By asking the question.
Mind blown.
Jack says, are there any Golden Age technology era human settlements left in the galaxy? Or in the warp? Not in the warp. They'll be super corrupted.
Yeah.
But in the galaxy, I'm pretty sure there's some fanfic or some obscure mention of a planet that hasn't been discovered yet. I think even some Grey Knights, or not Grey Knights. What are the Knights?
Imperial Knights?
Yeah, the Night Worlds, the Nightly Worlds. Some of the Nightly Worlds are still not discovered.
Uh-oh. We've got Chaos God Slanesh. He she asks, which race has the larger and longer dick?
My assumption would be the orcs.
They don't even reproduce though. They just like spore.
Oh yeah. Alright, never mind. Tyranids. Because they could just, their hyphly can just be produced into a giant penis.
One of the comments here, or replies to it, says, it's gotta be some freaky Kroot. Because there's probably some Kroot warlord that only eats the biggest dongs and it keeps finding the biggest ones and...
Shapers are freaky, man.
Mm-hmm. They're shaping their shape to be bigger.
Next question comes from Roger Rangel. Do you guys watch any of the Netflix Marvel series? What do you guys think of them? Do you? I've
seen all except Jessica Jones, and I like it because it's darker and grittier than the movies. But at the same time, I always feel like it's lacking that like superhero trope. Like sometimes it just feels like it's well, especially with Luke Cage, it has like a real surrealism to it. Like this could actually happen. But then I'm like, oh, I wish he was like flying or like he had some superpower or something besides just being tough. But when I watch Daredevil, I like that. Yeah. So it's cool.
I don't watch that stuff. Cool.
Waiting for the Defenders to come out. But yeah. Neon Flash. Since we agreed that the Adeptus Astartes have penises, can they have sexual intercourse? And what about the Chaos Space Marines? Can those guys rape?
So, a Chaos Space Marine empowered by Slanesh probably has both penis and a vagina because of the whole hermaphrodite thing. They might even do like the dual penis. They have one on top of the other.
And diaphallic is what they are called.
There you go. And there's actually a really funny comment right underneath that I read. that said, what did it say? Something about... So it basically said you don't need a penis to rape. And that's true. And that's sad that we brought that up. So can they rape? Yes. Because you don't need a penis to rape. You just need a hole.
Right. If it has a hole, it can be raped. Quoting Gershwin here.
Yep. You guys are funny with those questions. Next question comes from Chaplain Thor again. If you could command any unit, xenos or human, what unit would you command? Ooh, that's a good one.
Just one unit, so not the entire army?
Yeah, just a unit. I would do a power armor knob unit because I would have power armor myself, or mega armor, because of that 2+ save. How difficult is it for you to kill my unit of knobs
really
and power
tough.
armor?
But whenever you're shooting at my Terminators, I roll 1s for days.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially with the lucky stick.
Yep. What about you?
I'd say probably a unit of Riptides.
Riptide.
I think you can get like up to 5 in a unit now, and they're really good. And it's just...
If you had that in today's world, it'd be pretty badass.
Just imagine like
you'd be a self-sustained unit that can take on the world. Unless you get nuked, then you're screwed. One more question, and this one comes from Jasmine Ross. This is a good question. Any advice for a returning player to the game? Because we constantly return to this game. We stop playing, keep playing, and all that kind of stuff. My number one advice is don't ever sell your stuff. Don't ever sell your entire army because you're going to need it in the future, and it's going to be worth more tomorrow than it is today.
You should have told me that years ago.
I didn't know, but I've kept all my armies ever since we started playing, and yeah,
I'd say definitely pick up the newest codex for your army, because it's basically just a revamped version of the old ones, but you have to know the new things or else you're going to fall behind. I'd say do that before you get the rulebook, because the rulebook is great and all, but I feel like it gives you so many rules all at once that it's just overwhelming.
Yeah, and definitely use eBay. Especially even now with all the box sets. Take advantage of the box sets. Buy them on eBay for the cheaper prices. Or you can just go to your local GW and support them. But it's just hard to find GWs in general.
Yeah, they're like really far and few.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the advice that we have. If you guys have any more advice for newcomers, please comment down below. And again, if you have any questions for us for next week, comment down below. We're gonna have a Patreon exclusive for the Greater Wall, so don't forget to jump over to Patreon and watch that.
Keep on commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all that amazing stuff. And as always, I'm the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwin.
We are One Mind Syndicate, and we are out of here.